Today we're here with another TLDR video explaining a very complex topic succinctly. If you're not aware, Take This put out a smear piece against gamers and Gamergate 2 claiming, oh no, Sweet Baby Inc. is a victim of the evil white nationalist extreme right-wing bigots who will not stop harassing them. Naturally, they leave out all the juicy bits where they started targeted harassing a Brazilian gamer who put together a list of games that they had worked on and try to get a group taken off of Steam, which I have heard word. Steam has told the creator that that is not going to happen. I have not been able to verify that, but that's what I've heard. None of that's going to be mentioned in this. And again, as we go into this, all links in the description. Lyle put together a really good thread here, detailing DHS's involvement, linking to a bunch of stuff. Link, again, will be in the description, so you can check this out yourself. And here's our TLDR. Yes, the TLDR needs a flowchart. So this all begins with the Biden DHS spending $700,000 to fight radicalization in gaming. In reality, their goal was to censor the right, the center, and gaming by labeling them as extremists or white nationalists. Just if you want to check out the archived links in this, either pause the video or check out a link in the description for a copy of the image. It is also on my YouTube community tab, but I don't know whether or not you guys will be watching this the day I release it or 2 years later. So there will be a link in the description. From there, we get to Take This. Part of that money goes to Take This to portray gamers as white nationalists. Now, white nationalist was the buzzword a few years ago that the left and Democrats love to throw around. They were using trumped up statistics that included counting hoaxes, brandishing anyone that was involved in certain behaviors as a white nationalist, even if they were black, Latino, or Asian. It was really absurd, and as they got called on it more and more, they eventually just abandoned it because no one was taking it seriously, and they switched to threats to democracy and the age-old right-wing extremists. Because if you don't agree with Marxism or want your society deconstructed, or if you don't agree with being racist toward white people, well, you're just a right-wing extremist. So they publish this work here. A lovely list of literally calling gamers white nationalists. And then that leads us to this article here. So as you can see, the DHS direct connection, they're responsible for this. Now for the Alex Jones bit of this TLDR. A group called the Atlantic Council, which has been funded by Rockefeller, Foreign Finance, Facebook, Google, and yes, Burisma of Ukraine. You know, the group tied to Biden, among many others, became the DHS's online censorship czar in 2020 and proposed the ideal that the DHS needs to switch from terrorism, fighting, killing people in America, to fighting people having the wrong think because Orange Man got elected. Yes. It should come as no surprise, based on the pedigree of who's financing this, that this organization is a far-left think tank. Which leads us to a piece which will be linked in the description, which is right here, Deconstructing the Gaming Ecosystem, which is purposes to censor gaming to combat the spread of disinformation, which, again, is a buzzword for any ideals, behaviors, or topics the people in charge do not agree with. And at the same time, in a video, the founder of Call of Duty, who's a member of this organization, comes out and straight up just says, hey, yes, that Donald Trump's election was a watershed moment, and we need to censor the internet to basically prevent that from happening again. And link again in the description for that. I'm not making that up. So that's what's going on right now. You have the Department of Homeland Security financing various groups that are now working with the media to tell gaming companies to tell gamers that they are toxic and evil at a time when the gaming industry is on the brink of collapse and the industry knows it. So I'm really curious to see which one of these gaming companies are going to do what the Homeland Security tells them to do first, and is going to get the massive backlash and get the next Bud Light boycott going. I don't think any of them are going to be dumb enough to say anything, but never underestimate the stupidity of the managerial class. And then upward, you see it's become an actual conspiracy where the main goal is to censor information, ideals, topics that are counter to the powers that be agenda. And that is why you can't have nice things in game. Now, you're probably wondering, Kevin, why can I not have sexy in gaming, and how does that interrupt the powers that be's plan? Okay. Um, these people are not the sharpest hammers in the bag. It's largely about deconstructionism and complete control. If communists were intelligent, their nations wouldn't consistently implode in death and suffering by the end. If it doesn't make a lot of sense, there is probably a logical train of ideology to go down that will lead us to that. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you what that is, but there tends to be this logical train, typically involving some form of deconstructionism to gain more influence and power and infiltration. And then the infiltrators tend to push ideals that they agree with because they're useful idiots. And as Yuri Bezmenov pointed out, when useful idiots' usefulness is over, they are killed because they will continue to ruin things. Thus, it really might just be a shaking hands with the devil scenario for the elite, that they have to work with these cretins in order to get what they want done, so they give them the minuscule amount of power they want to push their agenda. And that is why we have censorship, is because these people are the useful idiots of the people who actually hold the real power and money. But keep in mind, groups like the Rockefeller Foundation have wanted to depopulate non-whites and the poor for a very, very long time. Very open about this. So we might actually need a TLDR of why they're all doing this, as it's probably not just a singular reason. And that's all there is to say about this tangle the weave of absolute nonsense and power mongering. I'd like to thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so I can get closer to the advertising program. Share this video to educate more people. Check out the links in the description, as I kept saying repeatedly through this video, if you want to fact check anything I have said. Peace.